Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial video on how I teach Photoshop to my elementary and middle school students. Forgive me, this is a single cut video and we're doing it sort of old school by videotaping the computer. So what I do is I teach students how to turn the Mona Lisa from this into something like this. And we accomplish this in a 90-minute middle school period, or you could do two 45-minute elementary school periods. So a couple other examples of student work from that. They created all kinds of different backgrounds. They had her holding things. They gave her new outfits and crazy hair. I really left it open that they could edit it any way they wanted to. Some were a little more minimalistic with makeup. Others made her modern or just did silly weird things to her. Changed it into a ghost. Pretty interesting to see what one simple background could turn into. So without any further ado, the first thing I do is have kids open Photoshop, and then I talk about a couple of the different buttons. This is the Move tool up here, and then these are the rest of the icons that you're going to be using down the side. So the ones we're going to be using today is this Brush tool, and if you right-click on it, you also get a Pencil tool. And then we'll be using the Eraser tool, and again, right-click to expand that, and you can also see a Magic Eraser tool. And then last, we'll be using the Color Palette, and if you click on that, you can choose your colors. And I'll be going over more of that later. There's about 4 million things you can do with Photoshop, so starting with just a couple cool tricks, the kids will actually figure out the rest of it on their own. Okay, so the first thing we do is get the image to start with. So going to Google and typing in Mona Lisa. Now, it's amazing that we take for granted that kids know how to use Google. I've seen kids type in really weird sentences. I'm looking for a picture of Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci's head. I mean, just weird stuff. So reminding kids to start with just keywords. Keep it simple. Keywords. Mona Lisa, that's going to be enough. Of course, this brings up a lot of different things. We want an image, so you're going to go to Images. And then, because we're going to be eventually printing these out, we want to go to Search Tools and Size. And you can just click automatically to large right here. Or if you're okay with a medium-sized image as well, to give yourself more options, you can go to larger than. And I'll say anything larger than 800 by 600. This is talking about the pixel size. Alright, so let's check this first one. If I scroll over it, you can see the dimensions. This is a nice huge file. That'll work just fine for me. Click on that, and then click View Image. And that will take me to a large resolution image of Mona Lisa. Click on that, right-click, Save Image As, call it something, choose a place to save it. I'm just going to plop it down on my desktop, and then I'll be able to open that in Photoshop. So go to Photoshop, File, Open, and I'll go to my desktop, and I should be able to find that picture of Mona Lisa right there on my desktop. Open, and now I've got the photo that I'm going to work with. Now the next step is to explain layers. So what I do is I go old school, and I have a picture of Mona Lisa printed, and I have some overhead projector sheets, or in this case these are clear cover sheets that you put on a paper page protector, and I have a marker. Layers work like this. They are clear sheets that you put over your picture. So if I put this on here, and it's a little cloudy, but you can get the idea, and I draw some crazy hair on her, I'm not actually affecting the picture underneath. What I'm seeing is Mona Lisa with crazy hair, but I can draw that and then come and go as I like with this layer. This layer is a separate entity. This hair now lives as its own picture. Then I could also give her some lipstick and some fancy eyeshadow, and then if I wanted to, I could put them together, or if I think that looks weird, I can get rid of all of it, and my picture is still safe underneath. So if you want to zoom back in, what we're going to do is we're going to add a new layer. So there's a couple different ways you can do that. I like to teach kids to use the toolbar up here. There's quick keys, but let's not get too complicated. So Layer, New, Layer, and just hit OK. And that's going to show up right here as a clear layer. Whenever something's clear, it's gray and white checkers, just like if you're using a ping image, and that means it's clear, so the gray and white checkers. So I now have a clear layer, so if I want to do something to that, it's not going to affect the Mona Lisa underneath, but it will show up. And let me show you what I mean. So let's use that Brush tool right there, And I'm going to pick a color for it. So I'm going to click on my color palette, and I'm going to pick maybe some blue, and hit OK. And now I'm going to change my brush size. I'm going through this fast, but your kids will figure this out. They're going to be better at this than you are. Alright, so I have my brush size, and I'm going to draw some hair on my Mona Lisa. Alright, they'll be very entertained just doing these simple things. And if I don't like it, there's a couple things I can do to delete it. Now first of all, this is a layer on top. There's an eyeball, which means I can see it. I can just turn it off so I can't see it. It's still there, but I just can't see it. So you can check to see what you've done and which layer it's on. And so if I turn off that layer so I can't see it, all I see is my background layer. So I'm going to turn that back on. So if I wanted to, I could just delete this whole layer. I could click on it, right click, and hit delete layer. Yep, I'm sure I want to delete it. It's gone. But then I need to put a new clear layer back. Layer, new layer. Okay. And I can do it all over again if I want to give myself a second shot at drawing some better hair. Now, okay, let's say I like that side, but when I get to this side, I make a big mistake. I can go to Edit, Step Backwards. Alright, or if I make two big mistakes, Edit, Step Backwards, Edit, Step Backwards. If you want to be a little faster with that, this is the one time I show a Control key, and it's Control Z will take you one step back, or if you make multiple mistakes, Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z. It's just a little faster. That's the one quick key combo. The more you use it, the more you'll figure out those quick key combos. So, let the kids play around with paint for a little while. They can even start to mess around with opacity if you want to turn the opacity down, change the color. Maybe you want to give her some blush, and so it just changes the color a little bit. I don't even know if you can see that on the screen. Let's turn up the opacity to this level. Kids are used to this kind of stuff. They'll naturally start playing with it on their own. And now I don't like that. Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z. And I got rid of all that. I stepped backwards. And it's all on this layer. So that's the first part, is messing around, and this is very similar to using like paint or something else like that. So that might be all you get to in your first lesson, but we're going to stop this part right here, and I'll make a part 2 of this video that shows some more advanced